A very, very big welcome to all of you. I am now in Germany and I would like to dedicate this next reading to all the lunar and solar eclipses we've been passing through. And we know that this month, this beginning of the month, the summer, this Cancer energy has played a very strong effect on us. So I would like to just remind you again to look back at when we had first on the 5th of June, the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, where we started to have an evolutionary leap, right? Why I'm doing this, coming back to these very specific points, is because these three planets are aligning, right? So we have the moon, we have the earth, and we have the sun. That creates a lunar eclipse, right? The sun shines onto the moon, otherwise we would not see the moon. The earth comes in between and creates the shadow on top of the moon, and that creates the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius. So Sagittarius, again, remember, was the forward bend, was this going deep within, which is the guardian angel, right? In the traditional tarot deck, it is the card of temperance. And temperance means I have to go within. I have to find, again, this middle connection between the dark and the light. Now remember, when I put you into an absolutely dark, pitch dark room, you do not see anything, not even your hand in front of your eyes. If I put you equally into a room that is bright, so bright, you do not see your hand in front of your eyes as well. So in the essence, the black and the light, or the white, are the same. You do not see anything with your two eyes. So here, this bowing down brings you into the equilibrium of the past and the future uniting in the present moment. And here we had the theme of making an evolutionary leap in your life, right? Making a step forward for all of humanity. So I'm just one more time showing you the card itself, right, that we had back then. So there you were planting a seed. How did that seed work out for you? Then we had on the 21st of June a solar eclipse. And a solar eclipse is when we have the earth, we have the moon, and then we have the sun, right? So the moon is moving between the earth and the sun. And thus we see from the earth perspective, the sun covered with the moon. And when the sun covers the moon, when the moon covers the sun, which is the only planet that can do that. And we can see how small the moon actually is because the sun is so far away. And the sun is huge, right? And the sun was covered by the moon, creating a solar eclipse. We didn't see it here in Europe, but in other places like Asia and India, they were able to see this almost 99%, right? It was a very strong one, solar eclipse in Cancer. And that was when we started to realize we are one. We are all together in this. We all have to figure this out, and we cannot leave one behind, because if we leave one behind, that means you leave yourself behind. And so here this position was the Ashwa Sanchalanasana, right? Taking ashwagandha to calm yourself down and to making or helping you to not go into the extreme stress, right? And to help you to focus and to align yourself through this position where you really need to use your third eye. And it's not about, oh, only the right or the left. It's about equal, otherwise I cannot use these wings. I cannot use anything. I cannot fulfill my life, because I need to use both wings if I want to fly, if I want to rise, right? That was the wings. If we have a mission greater than ourselves. And then we had on the 4th and 5th of July, we had another lunar eclipse, and that one was in Capricorn, where we rise above our karma, and there the position was the dancer pose. Here now I have the picture finally finished. Last time it was looking a little bit different, right? I had just the checkboards and the position, but here I decided to create Capricorn, the devil, again, something that wants to come into an equilibrium. We must find a place of, even though I am absolutely bright as that dancer pose in the middle of the city, and even though I have also the darkness within me, I am in nature. And I'm here on the asphalt or the darkness, the clouds. And here I am on the grass with the flowers and the sun with the universe above me, right? So we always have a constant play between absolute darkness and absolute brightness. And this was the lunar eclipse in Capricorn, where we started to rise above our karma. And karma is what we created ourselves. All the negativity, there is not really a devil. There's just out of balance. There is not you understanding that the darkness or that apparent negativity is the womb, is the earth, is that planting the seed. It's that fertile ground to actually make a difference. So here again are the 3 positions: bowing down, at the same time standing up, being strong, focused, the horse, the Cancer, and again dancing with it, dancing here, right? The dancer pose, finding an equilibrium, finding again this joy of being aware. Even though I go within, I go inside, and I go and reach for this higher purpose. I'm dancing, doing that. And now again, we are having a new moon in Cancer, where we again plant a seed in this very focused presence of the family, of the home, of the security, in opposition of Capricorn, Saturn in Capricorn, the dancer pose. Now these two play with each other. At one point I am here in this position, strong and focused, and I can step forward, right? The foot that is behind in high lounge steps up and comes into a dancer pose, which is a very difficult thing to do. And then stepping back again into high lounge, which is exactly what this wants or asks from us, right? We have the new moon in Cancer, opposite of Saturn in Capricorn. What does that mean? The new moon, this feminine, dark, right, fertile ground where we want to plant a seed of becoming safe and secure, nurturing each other, the family, the home, the social, soothing, calming energy that we want to bring to Saturn, where we learn it the hard way, in Capricorn, which is structure, order, discipline, laws, and to be respectful. And now doing this in a very loving and kindful way, being kind, being loving, how to transition between the two. I will do a sequence just about that. Okay, so reminding you to give yourself this nurturing energy, right? Nurturing energy, going deep in, going into the womb, going into the dark, so we can grow this beautiful lotus flower out of this inner equilibrium and be in the light, right? And do it respectfully towards yourself. And when you do it towards yourself, you can do it for others. Which is kind of like, I would like to say it as, say no, gently and kindly, but firmly, right? So once in a time, we need to say no, like a king, like a man that leads, right? Becoming your own leader, becoming your own, when we had the picture of Nelson Mandela and Mahatma Gandhi, becoming your own leader for your own tribe, right? Standing up and bringing it into the center, into the equilibrium, where the touch is between the positive and the negative. Again, where the dark and the light horse is uniting and creating the center, where the sun is, where lingam and yoni is, where new creation is happening, where we spread our wings. Every person matters, because you are all the people, the billions and billions of people that are existing right now in many various forms, right? And we have to understand that if something on the outside is creating a negativity in the inside, you have not yet found that absolute inner equilibrium, that absolute inner connection between the black and the white, the new moon and the full moon. Great. And now I'm going to each individual reading. Thank you for watching. Namaste. Welcome, Capricorn, to your new moon in Cancer reading. I decided to make a recollection of the last 3 eclipses. We had 2 lunar eclipses and we had 1 solar eclipse, and I think they were quite potent and quite strong. So I want today to do my reading a little different. I used the Mystical Shaman Oracle, and I just want to look back into these energies that have quite moved all of us, right? So the first one was the lunar eclipse on the 5th of June in Sagittarius, which was, again, the forward bend, right? And reaching into that union, finding temperance, being that awareness of coming into the center, finding the equilibrium. And then we had a solar eclipse in Cancer, and that was on the 21st of June. And that was, again, this card, right? The High Lounge, the finding as well equilibrium, but in a different way, right? It's very interesting how these poses really show you that you can find the center between right and left or up and down in different ways. Is by doing, right? And that's what I would like to bring to these cards with the yoga positions, is to bring in awareness. And then we had a lunar eclipse just on the 5th of July in your sign, in Capricorn, which was the dancer, right? And here we really definitely see the play. There's not really a devil, there is just this dance. And with this dance, we have to find our place in society with all these structures, orders, and laws, and we cannot be without it. The discipline, people are always telling me like, yeah, but what about discipline? And I'm like, the earth is very disciplined. It's moving every 24 hours. It's turning so precisely, and all the other planets as well. Everything is orchestrated. Everything is precise. There's no such thing as something off balance, right? Everything has its place, the dark and the light. There we go. Flying out. Okay, 1, 2, 3. One more for the last one. And now we have a lunar, a new moon in Cancer. And again, this Cancer is in opposite of Saturn in Capricorn, right? Your sign, the goat. This very intense personality, like a lot of people tell me, right? Like Capricorn. And I'm like, no, it's an amazing energy, right? If it's, of course, in its center, if it's balanced, it's a very beautiful energy. Everything, right? There's no such thing that only one side to the story. Okay, so for the first one, the Sagittarius, the lunar eclipse in Sagittarius, you got the upper world card. And it shows me that you have transformed back then, right? Through this awareness in your meditation. You have learned to rise above and take the energy from above to create this evolutionary leap, to move up, right? And you as a Capricorn, you really have to, because, you know, otherwise you're always going to be looked at this. This is your major arcana card, right? And there's a huge difference to this, even though we have created an imbalance, and we need to realize that. We need to awaken that. So here, this card is letting me know that you really did do your work. So let's see the invitation that this card is bringing to you. The upper world is calling you to step into your fully realized self. Clear distractions so that you can move into a higher destiny. Do not fall to the temptation to craft a slightly more improved version of yourself, right? So again, this is what this card is saying, right? You know that we sometimes get a little lazy and a little like too full of ourselves, and then we think, okay, well, I can complain because I'm enlightened and I have all the answers and I do it right and I'm the best and I am, right? And in the end, it's like you just watch all the dualities happening outside of you, but within you are in that union, you are in that spark, right? What you perceive as a problem or an obstacle is in fact the irritation. You need to take the great leap. Remember, you cannot cross the Grand Canyon in 2 small steps. So I see that you have done that work, and that you now actually have to break free. You have to break free from your own temptation, from your own shackles that you put over your neck. But they're loose, they're not very tight. Okay. Then we go to the June solar eclipse in Cancer, when we decided, or when the message was more like we are all one. And here you get the spiral. And the spiral gives me the feeling of like all these levels that we can achieve, all these different humans are on different levels, on different stages to that center. And some are up here and some are much closer down here. Those who are closer down here have to have more compassion for those who are up here, because they know how it is up there. You know, when you look at the tornado inside, it's still. When you're outside, it's really spinning you. So that's the feeling I get when I look at this card, right? So this solar eclipse, this energy that came from the solar eclipse really moved you deeper within, deeper to yourself. So let's see the invitation for this. To renew yourself, you must shed your old skin. You have already done this, so do not keep scraping away at the old, but welcome the soft new skin that is starting to grow. Break the habit of working on your faults all the time and let nature take its course. Know that a new skin feels vulnerable and scary at times. Trust the medicine of the spiral as it guides your journey of renewal. Like I said, you've done the work. And here it is, this new skin that you are wearing now. And it's not easy, like they say. Sometimes it's a little sensitive. Now, the third card for your lunar eclipse in Capricorn, which was like rising above your karma, rising above this limitation, this devil figure that is chaining us to the masculine and the feminine, to these opposite energies. And here you got the Time Master. And he has the Infinite Eight symbol right here on his chest. The Time Master, time does not exist, as we know. Time is circular, and that's why I'm doing these new and full moon readings, because I want you to feel that each full moon and each new moon is bringing something new to you, a new awareness. It's not like, oh, another full moon, yeah, whatever. No, this full moon in your sign or in another sign is carrying a load of information we're not even able to understand. But here the Time Master is giving us a glimpse of time does not exist. So the invitation of the Time Master that is giving you an invitation for your Capricorn eclipse, like your lunar eclipse. When the Time Master visits you, he asks a most important question. Will you break free from limited cause and effect thinking by moving beyond the linear illusion and welcoming the cyclic quality of time? You find yourself in a moment when the wheel of time turns and you're able to influence the past, thus changing the present and future simultaneously. This is the true test of the Time Master. You're being invited to take back your power, so let go of the past and choose to step into your life. In this moment, you are all-powerful. You are the Time Master. Anything is possible now. So, since the 5th of July, you are awakening to your true power. You are awakening to something beyond you ever imagined. And that is the timeless, that infinite symbol of the eighth chakra, right? And here you are, yourself in this infinite loop of positive and negative. And there's no such thing that only one good person and only one bad person. We have all of it within us, and we need to awaken and stop villainizing a person just because he thinks different and he acts different. And yes, sometimes they act so different from us that we think, oh my God, I mean, I know. I mean, I'm sometimes speechless what people can do, but that's the infinite play of the two dualities, right? Of the dualities. Now, the new moon in Cancer that's happening now on Monday, the 20th of July, you got the serpent. And the serpent, I feel the invitation of that intuitive, instinctive energy, the Kundalini rising. When you get out of the Time Master, when you see that time doesn't exist, that the past and the future are witnessed in the present moment, you will be able to rise the Kundalini through the chakras up to the top of your head at this new moon, right? When you do your meditation. This is the number 10. So here you have 59, you have 10, 14, you have the 5, you have a 5, and then you have a 12, which is a 3, and you have a 10, 46. All right, so what is the message for this new moon? The invitation. The serpent power of the Kundalini is steering within your chakras, gently asking you to embrace its mastery. Shed the old skin. I think you got it, right? Old skin already in the spiral. Let go of the old, right? Shed the old skin that you have been so attached to and welcome the vulnerable pink underbelly that will bring you a fresh experience of your life. Your passion and sexuality are awakening, and this can be scary. Trust the wisdom of serpent to transform your sensual energies into beautiful, original manifestation. So it's all about shedding your skin, my dear Capricorn. So I'm gonna get two good tarot cards just to round up the message and see how the card weaves into these 4 cards, but mainly the last one, the new, right, this new moon in Cancer. It's really beautiful to watch when you can see the message sometimes being so clear. The message being not like, oh, you will meet someone and you will fall in love. I mean, that also can be looked at, right? But it's more like, how much are we, and this is the most interesting part, is that we think, oh, when we get one good deck, right? We have these readings where it's like, wow, we have the Magician, we have the High Priestess, and we have all these major arcana, and we have like this amazing deck. And then all of a sudden we're like faced with, again, like the dark and the negative and cards that are not, and this is like shows us that, hey, we're not perfect. Never, you know, we never gonna be, unless you're like really a big guru. But even those gurus, right? I'm seeing more and more things coming out from these spiritual teachers who have abused their power, right? And this is the patriarch that is now releasing and being, but we have to help them. We cannot go and be like pointing fingers at them. It's not gonna do any good, right? And we are like them. We're not better than them. Okay. So, okay. Wow. You really, 5 of air, 9 of air, High Priestess, right? You, my dear Capricorn, are now getting out of this winning and losing, getting out of being in a nightmare, being in a difficult time frame, so that you can step into this most intuitive High Priestess energy, right? You got to let go of the mind playing tricks on you, the mind deceiving you, the mind pushing these thoughts in, right? And binding you, chaining you to your own self, to your own prediction, to your own dogmas. So here you are reaching into the High Priestess, and you have help. You have help to overcome these, right, mental energies. You rise above. You use your power to move to a higher level. And you know how to do that. You really know. You just sometimes don't want to. It's easier to stay in this, you know, blaming and pointing finger thing. That's what we do as humans, because it's easier to be like, oh my God, look at him, why and how and what, you know. And it's not our place to point fingers if we don't want the finger pointed at us one day. Beautiful. So I will take a picture and you can look at the pictures again and prepare for your meditation. I'm looking forward to hear what has happened. So please write down anything that you've seen. Looking forward to the next reading. Thank you for watching. Namaste.